going to get started. There's a couple people that are straggling. We're going to get started. There's a couple people that are straggling in, but we're going to get started so that we can start close to on time. But we're going to get started so that we can start close to on time and finish up close to on. Jenny Hunt is the principal of the Cutler School. We'll hear from Maureen Smith, who is the elementary.
I'm just going to talk and we'll get this done. Our goal is to work together to nurture confident, cooperative, and independent kindergarten learners. So that's this process that begins tonight and as we move through the end of the next academic year. The one thing everyone always wants to know about is where their kid go to school. How do we decide that? The first thing we look at is siblings. If your child has an older sibling who's at a school, then your kindergarten is going to keep families together. The second piece we think about are class size and geography. We do have transfer buses that get kids from different areas of town to the school, so there is busing available regardless of what school you go to. We also do try to keep class sizes similar across the district. So once we get those siblings placed, we start looking at where folks live, who's really close to the school. If you're within walking distance, you're more likely to attend that school. And then once you do that, if class sizes are funky, that's when we have to start making some decisions. And at that point, one of the things we'll look at is, there are a handful of kids in what I would call traditional Beaver neighborhoods who do not go to Beaver. And so we'll look to see if there are any incoming kindergarten families who have neighbors who are also going to schools that are not necessarily close to school, try to keep neighbors together. Where it is a complicated process. And one of those things we can't really figure out until we know exactly what's coming. The schedule for the year is a little bit different next year. Monday through Friday, we are going to be 8:25 to 2:57. What's different about that is that this year we do early releases on Wednesdays every week. And it has been that way for a long time. Beginning next year, we are only doing early releases once a month. So most Wednesdays will be regular school days. And then that second Wednesday of the month, we will have an 11:50 release for the students. And that gives us a chance to do some work with teachers, do some professional development during their day. Anyone living more than a half mile from school has an opportunity to take the bus. We will set those up at the end of the summer when we have a sense of exactly who's coming. We'll send out some information late in the summer to look for some general commitment that if you're going to take the bus or not. That helps us as the bus company build those routes. But it is an option for everyone. I did mention transfer buses. If you are someone who lives sort of in the Beaver end of towns, but you're not at Beaver, what ends up happening is your child will take a bus to Beaver or hop on a transfer bus will bring you to Cutler in Windsor. It sounds totally insane. I had that look on my face when the superintendent told me about it when he hired me, and it works so well. We do the whole thing reverse in the afternoon. Again, it sounds totally insane and it works really, really well. We've got lots of adults there to make sure kids go where they need to go. And when kindergartners are coming through, we've got first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, who's been doing this for years and can help out a lot with that as well. Oh, and in the afternoon, we need someone at the kindergarten bus stop for us to drop kindergartners off. So if there is not someone at that bus stop when the bus rolls up, they will not be kindergartners on the side of the road, and you will get a phone call from your school asking you to come down to school to pick them up, because the bus will bring them back to us. Some important dates as we think about the upcoming months. Registration officially opens tomorrow. Is that right? Registration tomorrow? It's already open. It's already open. Fantastic. We will do screening appointments the week of April 28th. We're going to talk a little more about what that actually means. At the end of June, we will take all of those folks who are registered and we'll make some placements around schools. So we can let folks know at the end of June when that happens. When I say end of June, I mean end of June, not when kids get out of school, but like end of June. So the kids will get out of school, and then we'll figure it out. Because there's all other stuff we're doing in the last few days when kids are around. So really the end of June. I'm going to skip the next time, go right down to September 2nd. So the first day of kindergarten is going to be the Tuesday after Labor Day. That is a change for us in children, but historically, 1st through 5th grade is going to be on that Tuesday, and kindergarten starting on Wednesday. We're making a change this year so that everyone will start on that Tuesday, which will help for working parents. What that means is the system that we've used for introducing kids and introducing families to school is going to look different, and we have not sorted that out yet. So there will be some sort of opportunity for folks to come in and visit their schools before school starts, but I don't know exactly what it looks like. And as soon as we figure it out, we will let you know. I think, Jay, you're going to talk about the registration process?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Caulfield. I'm incentive registrar, apparently I know a lot of things according to Carolyn, but honestly, feel free to ask me anything. I've also had the privilege of raising our 3 girls here. The baby is 19 in college, so we've been in town raising kids for almost 28 years. So feel free to ask me anything, even about transfer buses, because I will admit I also work on transportation. Yes. Anyway, so as most of you may have already registered, our registration process is 100% online. This QR code will take you to that registration information page. Most importantly, students, not most importantly, but if you have any problems or questions during that process, my email is also on that page and my phone number. Asking questions, go directly to that Aspen desk, but I can also help you get there. Any of your students who are currently enrolled at the Hamilton One Pre-K do not need to register, but Donna will probably be creating a list soon that teachers will, coordinate with in terms of, yes, you are coming to kindergarten, Hamilton One, or you are not. That's all we ask. Winthrop Preschool in the district. Yes, our church, everyone else has to register. All right, next. Most importantly, I encourage you to get to that page to read the required documents before you start your registration process, because you need to dig out your lead screening when your child was 3 or 4, and that's fine. But also, this list is on the website, and I'm not going to read it to you, obviously. Again, the QR code will take you there. There is just a link that'll have all those documents. If you have any questions, I'll be around after.
Hi everyone. I'm going to just talk about the kindergarten screening process a bit. In Massachusetts, every child coming into kindergarten is required to be screened. So we hold our process in April. And the reason for screening is to identify any potential needs of students entering into kindergarten, so that we can meet needs, provide for needs, identify service needs as soon as possible for young children. The areas that we screen are all developmental areas. We screen academic readiness, we screen gross motor for language, for regulation, social development. So that's the purpose and the areas that we screen for. So when screening is done, you'll get information from us. You'll get a letter from us after the screening that says either that everything was fine and your child is developmentally okay in all those areas, that we may want to rescreen your child in October once they enter into kindergarten. And the reason would be if we just saw some areas of potential need that maybe we just wanted to look at again, because 6 months later, children could look very different. And then the third option of response would be that we might want to go immediately to evaluation if we saw needs that we wanted to evaluate to address immediately. We do keep in mind that screening is, and we want you all to keep in mind, that screening is a snapshot in a 45-hour period of time. Children can all present very, very differently. Some come in ready to go, and others we can't separate from parents. All of that is fine, and I really don't want this process to create any undue stress on parents or children. If a child doesn't separate, if your child is not ready for it that day, or able to cooperate, or able to leave you, it's all good. We do another screening in August, and then, or we screen when they enter kindergarten. So no worries on that. It's just all okay. We see everything, and we deal with everything. And it's really good. So, any questions so far on kind of why we screen or how we screen before I get into the logistics? Everybody good? So logistics, what to expect. So the days, we have 3 days after April vacation at each school. You can sign up. Jenna's going to send you a sign-up sheet. You can sign up at any school, whatever day works for your schedule. The school that you go to has no bearing on the school that your child will go to. So you can go to any of the 3 schools, whatever is convenient for you. And there'll be times on the sign-up. It'll be in 45-minute or 1-hour blocks that you can sign up for.
Who performs this?
So the group first reading is the special education teachers, usually an occupational therapist, a speech and language therapist, and kindergarten teachers. Mhm. So on the day of screening, you'll come in with your child for your time slot. The counselors will be here. You'll have received a questionnaire ahead of time to complete, and the counselors will meet with parents during the 45 minutes, and the screeners will take your child to another area, and you'll meet with the counselor. That's your time to talk about any concerns you have. They'll ask you questions, go over anything, ask any questions of them, and talk about, like I said, any concerns or any information that you want to provide to the schools at that time. And talk about how the results are communicated. And if you can't make it, something happens on that day, somebody's sick, your child's sick, just call the school that you're going to, and just let them know. We do ask that because sometimes we do have no-shows and people don't know where to go or who to call. So just call the office at the school. And my last note would be if your child is already receiving services on an IEP, any special ed services at all, do not register with them. You don't need to screen. All right, good. Yeah.
If your student is in an integrated preschool IEP, should they still be screened?
Yes. Yeah. It's just if they're receiving services on an IEP. Good. All right.
Just about screening, when Maureen talks about a screener, that has a really specific meaning for us in education. And what a screener looks for is really just, are we 110% sure everything is fine? So if you get that phone call that is, you want to rescreen your kid, that doesn't mean something is wrong. Okay? Do not panic if you get that phone call. We will have lots of kids who are asked for rescreening, and developmentally they're totally on target. The bar for passing that screener is pretty high. It's pretty high. So just, if you get that phone call, don't panic. It doesn't mean that we are concerned. We will have lots of kids who are going to be, who will come back in for a rescreen who are developmentally or developmentally right on.
And also, my name, when you get the letter, my contact information will be on it. So if you do have any questions, or you're nervous about what you read, or you have any follow-up questions, just that. We can talk about that.
No panicking if you get that letter.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how you as parents can help you get your children ready for kindergarten. So one thing that's super helpful for kindergarten teachers and for us as administrators is to try to build as much independence for your incoming kindergartners as you possibly can before they get here. We have 15, 16, 18, 20 little children in a classroom with a teacher and a part-time teaching assistant, and it's time to zip up coats and tie shoes and get lunch boxes and snacks ready. That could take up a lot of time. So the more work you could do with your children to help them learn how to get dressed. Tying shoes is something that usually happens in first and second grade, but we're really excited if kindergartners know how to do it. or if they've got Velcro shoes, they can put them on and off. We are in the midst of snow season right now, and the expectation is that kids are putting on their snow pants, their snow boots, their coats, their hats, their mittens by themselves. We're all there to help them do a little final zipping, but it would take the whole recess period if adults had to get every single kid dressed. So all of those kinds of independent things are super helpful if you can help them work on them. Kids will be eating snack in school, and they will be eating in the cafeteria. So if you're planning for your child to be bringing their lunch from home, having them independently being able to zip and unzip or clip and unclip their lunch boxes, opening up packages, all of those things that we as parents tend to help our kids do because it's quicker and easier. We don't have people to be able to do one-on-one stuff, and certainly the kids are having a hard time. I spend a lot of time opening up those cheese sticks at lunchtime when I'm in the cafeteria, but the more you can help kids practice doing those things before they get to school, the easier it is for us. Bathrooming is something that we are expecting kindergartners to be able to independently do. We do not go into bathrooms with kids to help them wait, so that's something definitely to practice with them this year as you're getting them ready to launch into kindergarten. And then the other thing is if you are planning to drop kids off, getting in and out of the car, including, and I know this is something we tend not to want to tell our kids how to do, but getting in and out of their car seats independently. I believe that Bucher and Cutler do it the way we do it here, but we do a stop, drop, and roll here, where the kids are expected to be ready to jump out of the car and off you go if you're dropping off. So all of those really independent skills, you've got some time between now and September to start working on and getting your kids ready for those things. The other thing you can work on with your kids over the next few months is building their social vocabulary. So one of the things that we have kindergartners coming in, and it's often hard for them to express how they're feeling, and so they're either just mad or they're crying, and they can't really explain if they're frustrated, if they're sad, if they're not feeling well. So really working on kind of feeling words and trying to help them identify how their body feels, how their brain is feeling, how they're emotionally feeling, and help them work on isolating how they're feeling and teaching them some of those vocabulary so that we can help them better. And also being able to ask for specific help. I need help with my jacket, or my friend was just mean to me, I need help working on that. So those are things that you can continue to work on with them, is to help them identify sort of their feelings and teach them some of those feeling words. We're going to continue to do that when they get to kindergarten, but it's super helpful if kids have some of that vocabulary coming in to be able to identify how they're feeling when they're overwhelmed or when they're not feeling well. So that would be super helpful to all of us. And is there anything else I needed to say? Oh, and consistency is key. Yes. So when you get close to kindergarten at the end of the summer, really start working on making those bedtimes a consistent time. Kids need a lot of sleep. We work them really hard all day long, and so kids who come to school tired and grouchy are not going to be at their best, as we all know as parents. So a same consistent time for getting up in the morning. Some expectations around behaviors. Working on sort of helping kids identify disappointments, and we're going to say no sometimes to things. We're going to expect them to be able to play a game in the classroom, and sometimes they're going to lose and not lose their grip because they lost the game, or they didn't get to play with the toy that they wanted to play right now. So we're really hoping that you can help to build some of that resiliency for little kids, and teach them how to play a game and gracefully win and gracefully lose, and it's not the end of the world. Again, eating meals independently, and one of the things that you can do is have them help with family chores to build some independence and a little bit of leadership skills. So, any questions about this part? And we're going to pass it off to the kindergarten teachers for some specifics. Okay. And just so everybody knows, this slideshow is going to be posted to the website, so you'll have access to all of these slides. All right. So, who's first? Oh, come on up. All right.
We're the kindergarten teachers. Again, I'm Linda McMahon, Megan, and Patty from the three schools. This is View for School. This is where I'm a kindergarten teacher with Kathy O'Shea. She teaches with me. Oh, there we go. That's how we live. Oh gosh, that was a few years ago. And that's how the children see us.
Patty Wilson. I teach with Alice English Island at the Cutler School. And we are portraits.
And I'm Megan Kokolak. I teach here at Elementary School. And my colleagues are Sarah Matera and Katie Spur. All right, so I'm going to get started with the official. But first, I talked to my children today because they are, of course, the kindergarten experts. And I asked them what I should share with you. So I'm meeting with the families of the children who are coming to kindergarten next year. And what should I tell them about kindergarten? So they insisted that I give you a big welcome to kindergarten. And what they want you to know is that kindergarten is fun. You will learn something new every day. Like how to make friends and how to be a good friend. You will learn to share your toys. Sometimes this will be easy, sometimes this will be hard. You will learn to be really good listeners. We are still learning to be good listeners. You will have important jobs. You will count to 100 by ones and by tens. You will learn sounds and letters. You will learn to even read. Okay, you're not going to get this, but this little boy really wanted me to say this. You will learn a story about when animals want to be musicians. So you're going to learn some fables, and now you can know look forward to this for when your child comes home and tells it to you in the fall. You will make lots of pictures. You will build stuff and make cool things. Kindergarten is lots of fun. And this is exact words now. We wish you have a happy time in kindergarten. So welcome to kindergarten. Okay, so student arrival, 8:15. Staff will greet at 8:15 from various drop-off points. There's a supervised recess from 8:15 to 8:25, and school officially starts at 8:25. Teachers will greet students, and we transition into the school building for the day to begin. So here are our first responsibilities. Unpacking their snack, unpacking their school folder, hanging out backpacks and jackets. Now, this is the same routine every day, as Carolyn mentioned. We do help the children with routines and strategies that will help them to be successful and independent. Now, this is important because we start with the jacket, a light jacket and a backpack, and then it becomes a backpack and a heavy jacket and maybe a hat. And now we have a backpack and a heavy jacket and a hat and mittens and boots and snow pants. So if we're successful in the beginning, we can be successful as we gather more belongings as we move along. Then transition into our morning meeting. Our morning meeting follows a format that's designed by the responsive classroom approach. It includes a greeting, a share, then a song, movement, or game, and a message. Now, a greeting is important because it helps the children to get comfortable saying their own name to a group. It helps them to learn other friends' names. A share is important as a part of community building. You might share at the beginning of the year a favorite animal, favorite color, favorite activities inside or outside. Helps them to have a nice sense of belonging. Movement is very important in kindergarten. And of course, favorite familiar songs are always enjoyable for the children. And a message will give some information about the day. Now, they said we would have jobs. So a helper job would be to help read the morning message. It will also be the daily schedule. The daily schedule, jobs could also be classroom specific. I have a schedule turner in my classroom. They like to go out and turn over each each section of the day so they know how they're moving along the day. In the beginning of the year, many of them are going to ask when it's time to go home. So then we can go right over to the schedule and say, you're here, you have this many left to go. Some other fun jobs are shakedown helpers, light switch operators, and of course, line meters and door holders. So this is new for us in kindergarten. We've just gone through the training with the Open Circle curriculum. It's a pretty in-depth social emotional curriculum that really breaks things down for students about what it means to be a student in a classroom, what it means to be a friend in a classroom, and how we do that is through really specific lessons on getting calm, listening well, recognizing similarities and differences, making connections with each other, cooperating, understanding feelings. Our first lesson is how do we bring a chair to a group and sit and share in a group. And then there are really cooperative lessons, collaborative lessons on how we can work together in a group. So as a team, we felt really excited about this workshop and are really looking forward to implementing it in our classrooms. Moving on to literacy instruction, there are many components to our literacy instruction in kindergarten. Literacy, kindergarten is a language-rich environment in general. A large part of our instruction is CKLA skills. CKLA stands for Core Knowledge, Language, Arts. Big components of that part of our day are learning sounds and letters. Letter ID. Go back one. We really work hard on letter formation. We're blending sounds into reading words. So we first start with 3-letter words, and now we're working into 4- and 5-letter words. Kids are also working on reading words, so reading phrases and reading sentences. There's spelling words and learning high frequency words. We do that work in kindergarten.
I'm going to take over the CTLA knowledge is another component of this program. And this part is really centered around grounded and informational read-aloud text. And through these read-aloud, the students in the class really they build their vocabulary. It really enriches their vocabulary quite a bit. They develop listening and comprehension skills while listening to these stories. And then to support the comprehension, we do a lot of rich conversations. There's text. They may do some journaling, picture sequencing. So here's a list of the topics that are down through the knowledge. So these are all the units we have within each unit. There's like approximately 10 lessons, and each lesson has a read aloud story and some ideas. Like so for 5 senses, we learn 5 senses, and we do a nature walk and really hear, smell, see, and then come back and journal what we smell, saw, and so forth. We do a weather journal for a day when we do the season and the weather. And as you see, they would do some labeling of a flower and plant. So there's lots of different things that we do to support the comprehension in our stories. Integrity is another literacy component that we have, and it's basically a 10 to 15 minute daily theme of awareness lesson where students really learn through listening. And it's like the first sound in cat, or we're going to blend, or is this at? It's just all verbal, it's all listening skills, and that's just a 10 to 15 minute daily lesson that we would support our literacy program that we have. Snacks. I know Carolyn touched on a lot of the snacks. First, you will be notified at the beginning of the year if your student is in the classroom that is not free, so you will find out about that. And we just suggest also packing easy to open snacks for your students. And some things you can do at home. Again, Caroline, I mentioned these like practice opening snacks. Eating snacks in a time frame. In the classroom, we have about 15 minutes to eat a snack, so just kind of practice. They can sit on a sheet chat and you can say, okay, let's eat our snack. So that's something you can do over the summer, and also a water bottle with your students' name on it. And the first few weeks, expect students sometimes looks like they probably haven't even eaten their snack because they're just so concerned or worried or happy doing whatever in the classroom if they don't eat their snack the first week or so. That's just not uncommon, so don't be concerned if that happens. And then lastly, we started a new math curriculum this year. And basically focuses on the foundational math concepts like counting, number recognition. They do part, whole,
addition and subtraction. Next one for me, please. And so right now we're doing composition and decomposition, and so it's part whole learning, 3 and 5 make 8, and also 4 and 4 make 8, and they use manipulatives with the program to help support them with that.
I have all the easy stuff to talk about. So lunch, we have lunch every day. Your child can either bring a lunch from home or they can buy lunch at school. And our school lunch options are like the hot lunch of the day, which is listed on the district website somewhere. And they give you the month worth of choices. And it's good to talk with your child in the morning about what their plan is going to be. So if their plan is to get a hot lunch that day, it's nice that they know that. So because as soon as they walk in the morning, we do lunch count where they take a little magnet or something and show the teacher like what they're doing for lunch that day. So it's helpful. If they don't know, sometimes they get worried and confused. So it's good that they know what their plan is that day. The hot lunch of the day, they can also, this year, they can have a sun butter sandwich or a deli sandwich. So those are the choices. Lunch is 20 minutes. It's pretty quick, especially like at snack time if they're chatting. We have to give them reminders like, hey, your lunch, so they have something to eat. Also, again, you're going to really know that we like them to open their own containers. If they have easy containers to open and they practice it. Also, if you're packing a lunch and a snack, it's really important to pack 2 separate bags where they definitely will eat their snack at their lunch at snack time. And then they'll get to lunch and have nothing. So if you pack them separately, that will be helpful. So those take up a lot of space, so I always tell parents coming into kindergarten, those cute little backpacks, because your child is small, look cute, but they're really hard for your child to pack up at the end of the day. If they have a snack bag and a lunch bag, and their work folder and snow pants and everything to go in there, so a regular size backpack, even though it looks huge on your child, it's actually much easier for them to manage. And recess, we have recess as a highlight of the day. We go out. Oh, yeah.
Lunch is free.
Is it still? Ooh, lunch is going to be free. We still say buying.
You still have to sign up for it.
Yeah, you have to sign up for it. It's going to be free again. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure, so I didn't say it. That's good to know. Okay. We have recess every day. It's 20 minutes long, usually the lunchtime recess. We go out every day, unless it's raining or if it's super cold outside, we'll have recess still, but we have it inside the classroom. So I guess open playtime. Science, our science units, we address the science standards through our CKLA knowledge strands that Patty was talking about earlier. And some things that we cover that are science related are plants, farms, 5 seasons, and the 5 senses, the 4 seasons, weather, and taking care of the earth. And we try to make it hands-on. This is us visiting a farm this year with the farms unit. There's some exploring of evergreens. We talk about deciduous trees and evergreen trees. We get outside when we can for it. We try to make learning hands-on whenever we can because we know that students learn fast when they learn through exploration and physical movement, that they can really touch things and learn hands-on. So we try to make every area of our learning hands-on in some way, whether it be math with manipulatives or during literacy where they're actually like moving letters around because that really helps them to remember and learn things. Students will leave the classroom every day to go to specials, we call them. So they're in different rooms. They're about 50 minutes long. We have art, physical education, library, media, music, and next year, because now we have our Wednesdays, it's full day, but another day where we'll have STEM, which will be fun. Excited about that. Play. So play, of course, as you know, for young children, play is super important, and we all think that it's a very important part of our day. And we infuse it into not just unstructured playtime, like we have choice time, I'll talk about in a minute, but we infuse play into all parts of our day, whether it's literacy or math. We do a lot of literacy games, math games that are working with a partner, so your child is learning that really great gift of winning the race and losing the race, because they'll lose daily to someone else because they'll win daily. So it's nice if you start playing games with them, win a couple games because they'll get them used to losing. But play is also a really important time for your child to build those wonderful social building skills, how to share, how to cooperate. It's great for language building too. So we have choice time, which is one of the most popular times during the day where they have unstructured playtime and they can play with blocks or Legos or imaginative play, dollhouse, we have sandbox. This is a time when they're playing, but they're also doing some of the most important learning that they'll do in kindergarten because they're learning that how to build those social relationships, how to negotiate, how to compromise, how to problem solve, how to work as a team. I love it. So kindergarten is a magical, magical year. It's a time of growth, academic growth, physical growth, social, emotional growth. And it's a time where they'll learn to be a friend and to make many, many friends. It's like a big family. There you go. That's kindergarten. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, for that great presentation. Okay, so you've heard a lot tonight about what it means to be in kindergarten, what your children are going to be experiencing in kindergarten. One thing that we forgot to mention is, yes, there's free lunch, but there's also free breakfast starting this year. So again, it's something that you should sign your child up for if your child wants to get breakfast before school. It's a very simple process. They come in. It's a grab-and-go kind of situation where they get to have different items put into a bag. They take their bag, their breakfast, and they put it in a backpack and bring it into the classroom. And all classroom teachers, grades K through 5, give children opportunities to get a snack. Again, make their breakfast. Again, it's like a 15-minute time period at the very beginning of the day. So you'll be getting more information on that, but also something to keep in mind. And again, you've heard a lot about what kindergarten is going to be like, the day life of a kindergarten, but you might be wondering, how do I get myself and my child prepared for kindergarten? We know that this is a very anxious time for parents. It's, the first time you're going to be independently, putting your child on the bus. So just some things to kind of keep in mind over the summer, some things you can think about doing. Just treat kindergarten like it's a normal occurrence. So it's not a big, huge deal. Try not to make too big of a deal out of it because that could, raise your child's anxiety, getting nervous about it. Take opportunities to visit your school. Take opportunities to go to the playground. Make some play dates with, other children that are living in your area, going to your same school. That's a really important thing too because just learning how to use the playground equipment is important for children. We want to make sure that they don't go down the slide and not up the slide. How to play on the monkey bars, how to just utilize the different equipment on the playground. So it's a socialization time, but also a good time to learn about your school. So we talk a lot to kids at school about school is their job, just like grown-ups have our jobs, so it's their job, and their job is sort of their responsibility to go to school every day and to learn, to go to school every day and to be kind and respectful. So that's really important to talk to your children about. And just make sure that they know that they're going to make new friends. So some of your kids are in preschool right now, and they probably aren't going to go to kindergarten with everyone that they're in preschool with. So just, talking a lot about what does that look like when you're meeting a new friend. How do you meet a new friend? What would you say? So that's important thing to talk to your kids about friendship. And I'm sure you're already just reading books in general with your children, which we know is one of the most important things you can do. But taking some books out of the library, looking into books that actually talk about kindergarten, or like the start of school. I know there's a book by Kevin Hickey called Wemberly Worried, and it's Wemberly's going to school for the first time. She's very worried about if she's going to make any friends, if she's going to like her teacher. So that's a good one to check out as well. And then this book at the bottom, How to Prepare Your Child for Kindergarten. This is just a book that has hundreds of suggestions of things you can do with your child, conversations you can have, tips you can use to get your child prepared for kindergarten. And most importantly, remember that a lot of kids are going to have a lot of anxiety about starting school. They have it even other grades. But once you get to the school, if you could just hand your children off to us, we will take care of them, we promise you. Most of the time, once the kids are out of the car or out of the parents' hands and they're with us, they end up having a wonderful day. So just keep that in mind as part of your routine and maybe an expectation that it could, anticipate that your child could have some anxiety going into it. But we are here to support and help. Okay? I think that's it for this slide. Yes?
You just thought of something that I wanted to.
So after we do your school assignments, before school starts, for people who are not currently in our schools, our PTO or PTA are called the Friends of. So there's the Friends of Beaver, Friends of Cutler, Friends of Winthrop, and they do a kindergarten kind of play date before school starts. So you'll have an opportunity as parents to meet the people who run friends groups and get signed up to get involved in the schools, and it will also be an opportunity to meet some of the other children who will be coming to kindergarten at those specific schools. So I just wanted to make that point. Something else that we needed to fill in? Oh, please. You'll see the lost and found that's in the back of the school. Please label everything your child brings to school, including even the shirts that they put on, because I don't know, somehow kids take off clothes that they shouldn't be taking off, and then we find it. So if you can label everything, I don't know how people are dealing with the winter without their snow jackets that have been here all winter. So anyway, label, lunch boxes, water bottles, and everything. Okay, so now I guess we are ready for any questions that you might have for us. Yes?
The new early release day, is it 11:15?
Yes, it's early. They will not have lunch on that day. Anytime it's an 11:15 day. The district calendars are on our website, so the second Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be early release. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is an 11:15. There are certain days that are 11:15 dismissals. We do not serve lunch on those days. And we also do not serve breakfast on those days because the cafeteria staff is not here. Yes?
Did you say that peers in the integrated program will be screened this year as well?
Yes, if you have a peer student in the integrated.
I know obviously bus drivers aren't out, but if there's a regular bus that already comes to my next door neighbor gets on it, is it reasonable to assume that the timing would be very similar?
Yes, it's a safe bet. And every year after we get kindergarten, do you want to talk more? After we get kindergarten registrations, we as a district do not run the bus schedules. That's on the bus company. So once they see who's going to be on buses, they reroute, but it's generally close to the same routes and the same timing. And those schedules, we try to have them out the week before school starts. Sometimes it gets close to the day before school starts, but yes.